This part I think we have discussed earlier as well, that let us say when any whenever server respond anything, okay, so suppose Flipkart, not here, flipkart.com. So for this page, when we do the server side testing, right, the server side performance testing, generally we focus on the response that is received from server, right, and that response is in form of what we can say in the form of code, right, in that response is in the form of codes, right. Now when this response comes to our end and uh, to the browser, right, to the browser, so browser renders it, right, browser renders it and make that code beautiful. So that rendering, right, rendering how much it has taken, basically, correct. Now we can see rendering for the images, the JavaScript file, the CSS file, right? So that is known as client side thing. The stuff's going on client side in the user, right? So when we send a request, server respond us in that code format, right? Code came toward us. Now that the code will take some extra time by browser to be rendered, to be processed, and then this website becomes beautiful, right? So right, so that thing is known as end-to-end response time. End-to-end response time means when we send the request and when that response came, right, when the response came in the code format, and after that it's got rendered by the browser, right, by the browser, and uh, what we say, yeah, and then this website got beautiful. So how much total time it took, right, how much total time it took, so that is known as end-to-end response time. End-to-end, right, end-to-end, E2E. Now in market, generally there is not that many tools are there which can deliver this, or we can say using which we can do this client side uh, performance testing, right. So very good one tool is there, that is load runner. Basically only one tool I remember it, that is there, which is load runner with true client protocol. In load runner there is one protocol called true client protocol. Using that we can do, right, and along with one with NV component in load runner, one NV component is there which says network virtualization. Using that gives all matrices, right, detailed matrices, this NV component. So using this we can do, right. Now this NV what is the feature with load runner, that let us say if you see here, each sub request, okay, that is what we call embedded resources also, how much they took for rendering and multiple factors, right, all the load runner with true client protocol and that NV component can give us, correct. But apart from that there is no such tool. In JMeter there is no such direct option to do that, right. So we can do that by uh, integrating, like integrating JMeter with Selenium WebDriver. JMeter plus Selenium WebDriver. Okay, using this we can do. So that is what a client side thing. Okay, that is what a client side thing. So client side, right, factor related to web performance on client side. Uh, Factors related to web performance on client side, correct. Then some points related to that you can read. Now on this slide, if you see client-side performance testing tool. So in this, we have a web page test, page speed by Google, voice flow by Yahoo. We have Lighthouse, GT Metrics, HTTP Watch. So these are standalone application. They are there, but using this, we can only test for one user. Okay, one user, not for multi-user. In Google Chrome also, here Lighthouse is there. On here, if you see on in this tab, F12 developer tab, Lighthouse is there, right? If you click that and here multiple options will be there. Just select the performance part and uncheck these all options, right? And get the report. So it will give you a report for rendering and all thing, like how that thing is happening on client side. But limitation will this that these things is that they can only give for one user, right? One user. Then we have a Dynatrace. Dynatrace is APM tool. Dynatrace has also capability to tell the rendering part, the rendering matrices it will tell. Correct. So it's a APM tool. And coming to the real PT tool. So in PT tool, as I said, we have only load runner with true client protocol. Correct. With the NV component. And in JMeter, we cannot directly do, but yes, we can do that using a Selenium WebDriver integration. Correct. This is not that much efficient compared to true client protocol, but it will serve the purpose. And some Selenium WebDriver libraries are also there. So in automation, some libraries are there. Using that also you can do, right? Now here in JMeter Selenium integration, it will only give you total load time. Okay, not each component. So that limitation is there. Like if you see here, each component how much taking, that only load runner with an NV component can give. JMeter with Selenium WebDriver only can give the total time it has taken. So suppose this is the total time. Okay, load time that we see here, a downside. This is the load time, right? The total time that took for rendering. So this you can get.
Yeah, Vallabh, this Prashant. So yeah, I mean this Firebug and Chrome plugin, right? Those also gives a complete end-to-end response time, right?
Yes, this all will give, but they will just give for one user. You can only do
Yeah,
for
yeah.
one user.
Because yeah, I don't see you have mentioned, right, the Firebug and Google Chrome.
Google Google
Sorry.
Chrome.
The
The
hmm?
here they are there, na web page test, page speed, voice low, Lighthouse, GT metrics.
Okay, okay, sure, thank you.
So we'll see how we can do. Correct. So first you have to install the Selenium WebDriver in your JMeter, right, which comes as a plugin. It's syncing again. I think it's. Right. So here you can see in. Pardon?
No, nothing.
No, it is syncing or not? Just tell me why you people are like
Yeah, it's
respond at that time only. If it is not syncing, why to sit, right? I'll do something or we can postpone also. But why to waste time unnecessarily, right? So always tell if it is syncing or not. If voice is not clear, always tell me without any hesitation. So here we can see. Uh, in plugin, just search for Selenium WebDriver support, right, and just install that. After that, do apply changes. We know how to install, right? So once you install, this component will be available. Like if you right click on test plan, and then go to config element, right? Config element. So you'll see here list of Chrome drivers will be available after that plugin is installed. And in sampler, right? So WebDriver sampler will be there. Here sampler, right? WebDriver sampler is there. So using all two thing, we will be doing our we'll be making our test script, right? So I've added a thread group and added a WebDriver sampler. Now from this config element, right? Config element, you will see here many drivers are there. Chrome driver, Firefox, HTML, Internet. So generally, Chrome driver is the best. Okay, so I'll use that. Now in this config element, it's a Chrome driver config element. In this, we give the path of the driver, right? So doing this will be easy for those who have knowledge on Selenium WebDriver. Basically, many things like what is driver, I don't know many you people are knowing or not. Correct. So if you know Selenium, it will be easy. Driver is a uh, instance. Okay, it's an instance of our browser. So in Selenium, when we do the automation testing, we will be choosing the browser using which you will be doing the testing, like Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox. So if after choosing the browser, you download the driver, right, and you that driver is used in the project, correct? And it's instance. Instance means that driver will be used to launch the thing, like to launch the thing according to the script that we have written, automation script, correct? And it will be doing the same behavior like how a normal user does, like launching a web page and all things, correct? So that is a Selenium, that is a web driver. So here we will be using Chrome driver, right? So we have to download Chrome driver. So internet, from internet you can download Chrome driver. So you can see here project is there, right? Chromium web driver. Okay, so here it is there. Now just visit that and download. Okay. So I have already downloaded. So we'll see that and we'll use that. It's not syncing. No? Just I think it's not syncing. Uh, it's not syncing, Rama.
It's fine. I mean, it's thinking. There's no problem.
Yeah, looks good.
It's good.
Yes,
Okay.
Vallabh. Yes, Vallabh. It's
Yeah, we
good.
can see your folder, right? Selenium WebDriver folder.
My voice and video, they are syncing, or some slowness is there?
It's
No,
proper.
today it's fine. Yeah, it's fine today. There's no problem.
Okay, then we'll go ahead. So here in Chrome driver, right, I have just downloaded, and it will look like this Chrome driver.exe, correct? You can see here. When you download it, will be .exe file, right? We do not have to install it. We have to just use it. So there is no such concept of installing. Since it's a exe, we think it will. We have to install. No, we have to just use that, correct? So what I have to do is copy the full path of this exe driver. Right, properties, security, full path, and
I think now we have the sync problem.
in this, okay.
I'm still, the right click is, now right click got open for me.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so uh, where were we? Mhm. So we have to right click on this Chrome driver and get the full path, right? Get the full path and this config element, right? We have to come to this config element, and here in this Chrome tab, right? You see there here path is there, so put it over here, right? That's it for now. Done. Now in WebDriver we have to write the this WebDriver sampler. We have to write the Selenium kind of code, generally Selenium only, because it's a Selenium, so Selenium only. So a quick overview. So in Selenium, right, when we write automation lines, right, or we say automation codes, we will be importing the packages over here, right? Import these three packages are most important. Then other packages will also be there. Then first we will be launching the web browser. Sorry, not web browser. The URL, right? So here driver.get. Driver.get means what it will do. It will launch the URL. That driver it will launch, and with that URL it will be launched. URL launching is like every there. It's everywhere in our performance testing also. It's there, right? First we have to launch the URL. Now, so driver.get and then URL. So it will launch the URL. Then these are some inbuilt keywords. Okay, you can say send keys are there, and uh, uh, find element, by ID, by XPath, correct, send keys, click here, click send keys. You see here driver.get, find element, by. These are inbuilt keywords, right? Inbuilt keywords of our Selenium. Now, mm, uh, so driver dot find element, right, we'll say driver dot find element to find the element, and we have to find the element. So in Selenium, locators are there. Locators are there. In locators, around 4 to 5 types of locators are there. 4 types we have seen that also. I have shown I've shown this earlier as well in XPath assertion session. XPath is one of the locators of Selenium. So we can locate any element by using by ID, by XPath, right? By XPath, by CSS, like that in the this kind of uh, this kind of Selenium's locators are there. Okay. Now, mm, right. So here what it is, what this code is doing, driver is used everywhere, because here the all things is controlled by driver only. Okay, in Selenium. So driver dot everywhere will find driver dot. Then find element, find the element by ID or by XPath, anything, right? And then if you are using ID, then you have to give ID. Then if you are using XPath, then you have to give XPath. And after finding, let us say send the keys, right? Send keys means send username and send password. So what it will do, uh, if we understand on this, suppose this is the page, correct? So you have to you want to do the login, right? Login using Selenium WebDriver, you want to automate. So you have to find the XPath for this field and XPath for this field, and that's what find element, right? Find element using XPath or by ID, and then send the keys over here. Keys means send the value, right? Send the value over there. So that is what it's going. After sending the value over there, then what we have to do? Find the XPath, right? Find the XPath, find element by XPath for a login, right? So for this login button, you have to find the XPath and then do click, dot click. So Selenium WebDriver will do what? It will send username here, password here, and then it will click on this login button. So this is what Selenium is nothing. How a user is doing, the same thing is automated. Okay, instead of doing the user doing, that thing is automated. Correct. Now we'll wait. So after you do the login and other things, suppose we do login. So next time on next page, generally a wait condition is given, right? Basically, so let us say when login, so wait for this element to be loaded, or yeah, or anything, right? So wait condition, correct? And wait condition can be of many types. Right. So here, just a second. So here you can see WebDriver wait is a inbuilt class. Okay, class. We are creating an object for that WebDriver wait, and in that we are storing the class using new method. So WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait, and driver comma 120 seconds something, right? So wait for a element, and for which element you want to wait. For that again you have to write a condition like wait until expected condition dot to be clickable, element to be clickable, right, by XPath. So let us say when this got loaded, so suppose wait for this element to be clickable, or this image to be clickable if it is clickable, right? So like that we have to wait. And there can be many types of wait condition, like element to be clickable you can give, or visibility of element located you can give, right, or presence of element located that you can give, correct, like that you can give. So that is what we do in Selenium. Now same thing when it is converted in JMeter. So all concept remains same, approach change little bit. Okay, so how the approach change, if I show this comparison with you people here, which is a Selenium, this is how the things will be written in Selenium, this part, and this is in JMeter, correct. So here directly you call the package. Here you call the package using a Java importer. Okay, you are calling the packages using Java importer, and you have to store the packages in variables. Variable name can be anything. So just for reference purpose, I have given like driver. In that Selenium main package is called and installed here. The WebDriver wait package will be called and stored in support UI, which is a variable. And then expected condition, right? This uh, expected condition, correct, expected condition. So this package will be called and stored in this variable called condition, correct. And then wherever we use this variable will be used directly, we cannot use, the variable will be used. Okay, so here now, so here launch, doing the launch, how here it is done in Selenium, driver dot get, correct. Driver dot get, here it's a browser dot get, and that to wds.browser.get. So driver is replaced with what? wds.browser. Okay, wds.browser. So everywhere in Selenium, wherever you have written driver, right, everywhere in the same code, if you see, that things will be replaced by wds.browser, 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 wds.browser. Other thing remains same, like find element, find element, find element, and then rest of path like by XPath or by ID, right, by XPath, by ID, uh, at dot click or dot send keys, all thing remains same. But in middle again one part changes. Which part change? Here, before doing all the activity, we have to do driver dot by. Here directly, right, find element by ID, find element by id, find element by xpath. Here find element, then in bracket driver dot by, right? So before all the by option, if thing that we are doing, we have to use driver. And what is this driver? Driver is a variable, right? It is a variable in which I have installed stored these packages. So on same line here, support UI is a variable, condition is a variable, because again we'll be waiting, right? We'll be waiting. So how the wait condition here written, right? So var dot wait, again this wait is a variable. In that new support, right? New, and then support UI. Support UI is this variable which is called over here, because that package is needed, right? So this package which is stored in this variable, so variable dot, right? And then WebDriver wait, and then driver, right? So here it is written driver. So here WDS dot browser, and then comma, and then value, for how much minute or how much second you want to wait for. And generally this will be in millisecond. In JMeter it is in millisecond. In JMeter this is in Selenium this is in seconds, okay? And here it is in millisecond. Now and then wait, right? Wait until condition, correct? So again here wait until expected condition dot element to be clickable. Here wait until expected condition dot element to be clickable is there, but again before that you have to call this variable condition dot, because the wait condition package is stored in this variable, and that's why that needs to be called over here, right? And same again here driver dot by xpath for that any element for which you want to wait. So this is the little bit change that happens in this JMeter. Okay, other thing remains same. So first, what we will do, let us launch our URL. So I'll just copy the URL and we'll put it here. Correct. So this is going to launch the JPEG store homepage. Now let us give a wait condition. So before giving all this, we have to import the packages, right? So it will be good if you have practiced some of the Selenium thing, at least one simple project you do, it will be easy, right, to understand the thing. So these 3 lines are very much necessary, because these are the packages, compulsory package. So I'm putting it over here, correct? And let us say URL is launched, right? So for now, this is not required. Just for launching the URL, this is not required. So I've commented that out. I'll just show you what is happening, right? So we'll just see how it works. So add a listener. Right, and now run it. So if I run it, you'll see a Chrome driver, a Chrome instance, Chrome browser instance will be launched, and it will just launch the homepage for us. Right, the Chrome browser got launched. So that is what the driver, Chrome driver, and it launched and it got closed also very fast, right? Now here that thing came, that request came. Now for this thing in request you will not see anything. Okay, what request meant, because here this is not proper HTTP HTML thing, right? But response you will get, and that too response will be in code format, as I said, right? Because response JMeter is not a browser, so it will not show that in rendered format, right? It will always show in code format only, but response you can always verify, correct? So this is done. Now one more thing that we observe here is that this WebDriver opened that URL very fast, right, and close it very fast. So how will get to know that whether that page was fully loaded or not? Because what happens that uh, in any complex page, right? Any complex page, our JPEG story is a very simple one, but any complex page, if you take this Flipkart only, correct? So here many multiple iframes will be there. Iframes are like how I can say iframe means there will be outer border which will load first, then inside that one more frame will be there, inside that one more frame will be there. So this all thing is known as DOM structure. Okay, DOM structure. So I'll suggest you to watch a YouTube video on DOM structure. Many people have given a 15-20 minutes is video is there. Just watch the video on DOM structure, right? DOM, how DOM works, and the things. You'll get the idea about the page. Okay, about the page. So what will happen here that let us say when this Flipkart got launched, or let us say this JPEG store first homepage got launched, right, by that WebDriver. So how will make sure that whether it was fully loaded or not? Because what will happen that here few contents will load very fast and few contents will be slowly loaded. Okay, slowly rendered. The inner frames which will be there, they will be slowly loaded. Correct. And with this WebDriver, what it will do, if the outer frame, the first frame only got loaded, it will say okay, website is loaded, it will exit. And that's why we have not seen that we have seen that it executed right very fast, it opened the URL very fast, and it finished it. It didn't we didn't seen the things properly also, right, properly also. So what we have to do then, always give a wait condition. Wait for a particular object. Okay, to determine when page is fully loaded, wait for a particular object to become visible before we can say that the page has loaded or action has been completed. Correct. Now you'll ask me, so which thing we can give for wait for, right? Which object we can give for wait? So the you have to do little bit R&D on the page, right? And that also, like as I said, the DOM video, if you watch the DOM video by any people, like 2 to 3 video, many people have made the video on DOM. Just search for that DOM structure, you'll get an idea, right? Or the automation people have idea of that. So the inner frame you will see which will load little late. So it is always better to wait for those objects which is loaded late. And in that way, what will happen, the full website will be loaded. And that is what end-to-end response time, right? End-to-end response time means what? The complete website, how much it is taking to fully load it. Now if the outer frame, let us say this was the outer frame, it was loaded and inner content was not loaded, so what is the use, right? It's not the end-to-end response time. So always the inner frame that you think which will be loaded in the last for that page, wait for that, or wait for any object in that inner frame. Correct. Any object means any image or any link for that thing in the inner frame, right? And then find the XPath for that and just give just wait using the wait condition. That's what we have given here. So right, so for launching these packages are not required, but after launching whatever the action we do, for that the this 3 line, at least 3 line, these packages are required. So we'll enable this. And now what I'll do, I'll wait for this URL is launched, so I'll wait for something. So let us say on this homepage, what we'll wait for? Okay, I'll wait for enter restore, right? So what we have to do, we have to find the XPath for this element, correct? And then wait for if it will in elements tab. Okay, you have to write the XPath for enter restore. So already I have here. Let us say this is the XPath for enter restore. Using this, if I do Control F, right? Here. So downside we get the option to write XPath or to verify XPath. So I'll just put it over here. You'll see that enter store is getting highlighted, right? Here or here. But basically this. So means that is the XPath for that object, right? Object. Now that is the XPath. The rest of the code remains same. So all thing is XPath in Selenium. This code that keyword that I said, they are writing Selenium code is very easy. Okay, 6 months practice you can write. But their Java is required, that is tough. So many people do not do. Okay, for some condition we need Java, but Selenium, if you just want to write, it's a very easy thing. So Selenium ID will suggest this keyword are will not change. Okay, they will be always same. Just you have to work on XPath. So now let us wait. So I'll just use this line as it is, right? And here the XPath for our enter restore. Correct. Now we'll see this time if I execute, you'll see this time the driver will wait little bit, and you'll see the page will be fully loaded compared to the previous. Previous it just executed and just closed. We didn't see also, right, whether the page was fully loaded or not. But this time it will be visible because it will wait for that object to be loaded. Right, it was there. It was there for a while, correct? And we seen that home page was there. And if you again, so in request you cannot get anything. In response, obviously you get the response, and that too in code format. Okay. And in sample result, this time you see response time is the exact 2.6 seconds. Because here it was less. Why? Because it didn't wait it fully. Just it's launched and it didn't wait it for the object, and it came out. So now this time we have given a wait. So it is waiting for that element, means the full page to be fully loaded. And then if you see around 800 millisecond increase is there in the response time, right? Because this time properly it waited. Now for this kind of test, you'll get connect time and latency always 0, 0. Okay, always 0, 0, because it's bringing end-to-end response time, so it will not calculate this thing, connect time and latency. This feature is there only in HTTP protocol or HTTP sampler. So always connect time and latency will be 0. It will just give you total load time, right? And what is the total load time that we see in our network tab? So you can see total load time, what is 2.44, right? Almost closure. Here 2.8 we got, 2.6 we got, right? So that is this is what we are doing here. Now again, next what we have, so this is like T01, it's for launch. Then again make another request for other actions that you want to do. So let us say T02 for enter store. Now for enter store again, now website is already launched. Now we'll be doing the click, right? So we'll be using this code wds find element dot click. So instead of this, use this, and on which we have to click on enter restore, right? So we have to write the XPath for enter restore. So this is the XPath for enter restore, and click over, put it here. And then after clicking on enter store, let us say you want to wait for something. So that wait for wait you have to give the XPath. So let us say I am going to wait for fish, right? So if we click on enter store, fish and other things should be there, right? So I'm waiting for fish. So that XPath I'll give over here. But generally, which XPath we should give, which for which element we should wait? The object which is getting loaded in last, or the iframe which is getting loaded in last, that for that you should wait. Any object on that iframe you should wait for that. Now we'll run, and this time you'll see it will launch, and then it will click on enter restore also. right? And then it clicked on enter store, and we have seen the page clearly, right? And how much it is taken? 2 seconds, right? Load time, and here also it was like 2.1 second, yeah, something same, almost close we are getting. Now so I will not write whole, basically, right? It will take me much time to write the whole. I have already the script. I'll just open that and I'll show you, right? So this script is loaded on Google Drive. You can also download, and it's ready to use mode. What you have to do is just enable, right? Enable any of this thread group, and in Drive, uh, Chrome driver config element here, change your path of the driver. And I have given driver also. Okay, I have given uploaded driver also. Okay, just copy the path and put it over here, right? Put it over here, and then you can execute. It's ready. No major changes required. Okay, and you can have a look what is going on. So for enter restore we have written, right? For enter restore we have written. Same goes for select a page. So you can see after here again driver dot, right, by XPath, and then let us say if you are clicking on fish, so XPath of fish, and then click, and then after that wait for something, correct? So on the browser, what will happen after enter store? You click on fish, right? Then you click on a type of fish. So for every element we have to find the XPath and just do click. Basically here click is there, so do click, add to cart, then click on proceed to checkout, and after that sign in. Here login will come, right? Here login will come when we do the proceed to checkout. So there we have to send some inputs, so that will be send keys. So here generally all clicks are there. Now here sign in. So here you have to find XPath for this, and you have to send a username here, password here, and then find XPath for login, and then do click, right? Click, and when you do click again, something will come. Let us say J2EE, J2EE, right? So you can wait for, you can give a wait condition for this button, right? Button. After that, on this transaction, you have to select value from here. Then you have to send keys, send value for credit card, expiry date, and then find XPath for this continue, and then click, right? Like this, the things will go. So here, that is what I have designed. So you can see here for select a pet, clicking on fish, and then wait for object on next page, correct? And then again select a type. So click on a type of fish, correct? Other thing remains same. The key keywords, if you see, they do not change. What changes is the XPath changes. Okay, and then after clicking that product ID, then wait for some wait condition, wait for some element. Then here click on one of the item ID, right? Click on one of the item ID, and then wait for, let us say, add to cart link, wait, and then next click on add to cart, right? Click on add to cart dot click, and then on next page wait for proceed to checkout. Then on proceed to checkout, click on proceed to checkout dot click, and then wait for login button, right? Now in login, here you can see XPath for the first input field and XPath for the second input field, and then send the keys. Send keys, the username, right? Yeah, username, and after that the XPath for that login button and dot click, right? Dot click, and then wait for continue button. Then on continue, again we are choosing a MasterCard or Visa card. So directly find the XPath for that MasterCard or Visa card and dot click, or American Express. Then then in credit card field, find the XPath and send some credit card detail. Expiry date XPath and send expiry date detail, right? And click on continue. So continue dot click, and then again on next order, next page, wait for some element, and then submit, right? Submit. This is the XPath for submit, and dot click. So order will be booked. And waiting for, let us say, on logout. On that page, I'm waiting for logout, and then I'll do the sign out. Sign out dot click, right? And once we do sign out, so again enter store page will come. So verify something, waiting for something, right? Now I'll just run it this, and I'll just show you. So whole end to end, one product will be booked. So this script is ready. You can also have a look on this, and you can also execute in your machine. Just change the path of WebDriver. Okay. What happened? Some error came. Just a second. Path, maybe path is missing or what? Path was the error. Okay. So path. So this nothing to do in this script. Just to check your WebDriver path. You can always execute. I will see that it will click on all the item that I have shown you, and it will book a fish, right? And that to which fish? EST 20. Okay. So logout done, right? And it will close. And here you see all transaction done, correct? And load time for each, right? All the transaction, how much the load time it took, right? Now, what is this weight? I'll explain. Okay. So this weight that we are giving over here, that is called as explicit weight. Okay, in Selenium. There are three types of weight in Selenium. One is implicit, one is explicit, and one is fluent. Okay, fluent. So here explicit weight is used. In explicit weight, what happens is you give a hard-coded value. Hard-coded value means it will wait. First, it will wait for this element to be loaded. Okay. And so we have seen the timeout, right? What is a timeout in JMeter? that a request should not go in infinite execution, that we give a timeout, right? Either you execute in 10 second or 20 second, or you fail it. So this you can think as a timeout. It doesn't mean that it will wait for 10 second, right? This is 10,000 millisecond. In JMeter it is in millisecond, so it doesn't mean it will wait for 10,000 millisecond. Never it waited, we just executed, right? So it is maximum. It means that I wait for this element, and let us say if this element is getting loaded in 3 second or 4 second or 2 second, whatever, okay, fine, then go to the next transaction, right, or next request. But if it is taking more than, right, more than, so what is more than that we have to compare, so that is the wait over here, correct? So let us say if it is taking more than 10 seconds, then do not wait and go for next request. That is what it's kind of timeout. Doesn't mean that it will compulsory wait for that second. Now these two lines, if you see sample start and sample 8, so these two lines calculate the total time taken by the stuff over here. Okay, and in Selenium one library is also there, start time and end time. So this feature that we do here, that can also be done in Selenium also, right? So what is the point of bringing this thing here? Because in Selenium also you can launch and you can wait, and there two keywords are there, start time and end time in Selenium, right? It's there, and you can get the total time taken by the driver for that process. So why we bring this thing? Only because here we can run for more users. In Selenium we cannot. That is what automation, right? Automation testing, how much we can do, maximum 1 or 2 or 3 users in parallel, not more than that. So for more user, if you want to run to do the client side metrics, then that's why we are coming over here in JMeter, because in JMeter we have a feature we can run for a number of users also. In Selenium we cannot do. So all feature are for Selenium only. Only purpose to bring this in JMeter is that more user we can run, right? Now apart from that, other thing also you can use as usual, like think time I have used between them, right? Think time. So we have to give some think time. It's a good thing. And use the think time. It is better for WebDriver. Otherwise, you will see test will crash. Okay, means crash means for Selenium WebDriver we have to give some wait always after every request. In automation also people gives the wait. Okay, and then a response session also, if you see, I have used for all request to verify response session whether response is correct or not, coming correct or not. So all these things we can all things can be implemented here. Now last thing is no, not last thing, yeah, one more thing is that let us say this script that we executed, it booked only one hard coded value, right, every time, or the username and password always it will be using this J2EE J2EE if you are running for more users also, because these are hard coded. So what we can do is, I have here the last thread group handles that concern, right? So you can see I have extracted the pate, right, separate using regular expression. It's the same script we can, because response always is coming in code format, right? So why not why we cannot use regular expression? So I'm extracting a regular expression and then passing in select a pate, right? Select a pate over here using the same concept called dollar cpate, dollar forward braces cpate, and then dot click as usual, right? So randomly one pate will be picked and it will be passed over here. Then same goes for selecting a subpate, pate type, right here, pate type, and passing in next pate type over here. Then subpate also, right? For that also regular expression, and add to cart nothing, proceed to checkout nothing. In login, correct, login. So username and password, this we can pass from CSV, so that if you run for n number of user, this will be like 10 user, 20 user, so a different data will be utilized, correct? Then in enter details and continue page, I have made it more dynamic here again. So here you can see credit card type. So this I am extracting, right, again from login page. we have extracted this also in our HTTP protocol script, right? So extracting, and that is passed over here. Credit card type, it can choose master, visa, anything, and credit card number, right? So a random function of JMeter used here. Credit card date, so random date used here, and then click. So we can make it more dynamic. The same concept of the HTTP protocol, the other feature of JMeter that we have seen, all can be utilized here. Now, yeah, so this is done. I think I'm everything done, making it more dynamic done. You can do what, you can parameterize the XPath also from a CSV file. So let us say this thread group, here I have done this just for example sake. You can see here all the XPath has been parameterized using a variable, and where that is stored, here I have declared the variables here, all variables and XPath for them, and just I'm calling the variable over here. So this is a approach that if you wish you can use, if you do not wish you cannot use. Why I have made it like, sometime what happen in automation, when a build comes, so many times the XPath changes. Okay, so why not parameterize it from a CSV? Because if XPath change, always you have to come in the script and fix this XPath, right? The XPaths, these are the XPath, whole this thing is working on XPath. There is no change in these keywords, right? If you see, they are same. What is changing here? The XPath is changing mostly. So why not to pass from a CSV, so that we can change, if XPath is changing, we can change it from there, right? So you can parameterize from CSV also if you wish. Next is so I'll execute this for 2 users, that, and you'll see 2 web drivers will be launched, and 2 orders will be booked, 2 different orders will be booked, correct? Oh, just a second, here also I have to change the driver. So always change driver. Okay, driver path, if you are extracting, do not if you are executing, do not execute as it is. Okay, here what I have done is, here I have stored the driver path in a variable, right? And that variable is called over here. That also we can do, right? So anything we can do, all concept that we have learned, right? Variable parameterization, all thing we can do. So you can see two WebDriver has been launched, right? In one, Tiger's Arc is booked. Let us say here, what is here, Sportless Koi is booked, right? Now, while this execution is going on, I'll show one thing. If you see my memory, okay, CPU utilization and memory consumption, it's around, it's going on around 68%. Okay. And you can see here 3 Chrome drivers. One is there, obviously I've opened. 2 extra has been launched over here, correct? And now since both has exited, right? Both has executed, so only one is left. And this CPU utilization was, which was very high. It was around, how much I forgot, some 60%, 70% was there. This was at 66%. It got reduced by 3 or 2%, right? So why I'm showing this to you? Because when you do the load testing, let us say when you are going to run it for 10 users or 20 users, you should not run in by launching the browser, right? Like launching the browser means in front of you so many WebDriver got open, right? So if you are running for 10 users, what will happen? 10 WebDriver will be launched, means 10 Google Chrome will be launched, and they will be doing your action in front of you. Now what will happen to you if you open 10 Google Chrome? You can try in, your system will hang only, right? That much resource consuming it will be. Just now we have seen two was running, and it was around 60. Now it's 63, 64. It was it increased, memory consumption increased to 4 plus. CPU was around 40%. It increased just for two. Now if 10 or 20 are there, then do you think the resources will be available? No, test will crash. System will go out of memory. Okay, so we do not run this in by launching the browser. That is known as head mode. We do not run in head mode. Then how we run? We run in headless mode. Headless mode. Okay. What is this headless mode? In headless mode, uh, whole thing will run as it is. Only thing, the driver will not be launched. Okay. And how to do that? So in this config element, again, Chrome driver config element, you will see here one option is there. Use Chrome as headless mode, right? So just click on that, and I'll just run it for you again, right? We'll see. Okay, I should have cleared this. Okay, so it will come on top of this one, not an issue. So now you'll see two users, two driver running over here on the top right corner. You can see 2 by 2 it's showing, and here two launch started, right? The things is going good only, but only the driver is not launched. And here, if you also see, there is now you see there is no much load on my CPU. How much it is? Very normal, right? And here it is as it is 64% only. Earlier it was 66, 67, and this was around 60, 60 to 70% it increased just for two. Now it's very normal, right? This is a constant only. This is going, and yeah, two web drivers are launching, running over here. So this is known as headless mode. Running the web driver in headless mode. Okay. And because of this, I have given responses session, because we should verify also. So responses session, another thing.
Hi, Vallabh, this is Prashant. Sorry, actually, I needed to step out for 4 or 5 minutes. So you talked about headless browser, right? So can
Headless
you
mode.
headless mode, right? So can you quickly explain that? What is the difference between not using headless mode and headless mode?
In head mode, what was happening in front of us? Two Google Chrome instance was launched, right? And at that time, it was consuming high memory and high CPU. So only two is launched, so it was consuming that much. If 10 or 20 will be launched, then nothing, no resource will be available. All will be CPU utilization, memory utilization, all will become 100%, and test will start crashing. They will start failing. So we do not run in headless head mode. We run in headless mode. And how we run in head mode is by, here one option is there, use Chrome headless mode, right? If you put a check mark, it will be running in head mode only. Headless mode, right? All thing will remain same, but only thing, that instance will not be launched. It will be running in backend, but in front of you, it will not be running. And hence CPU utilization and memory utilization was very less. We have just seen, right? It was very less.
Okay, so in some cases, if we need to do even 50 users like that, right, we can do, right, with this option, 50, 100 users.
Yes, we should do with this option only, because if you
Okay,
do in head mode, it cannot go more than 8 or 9 or 7 to 8 also. And that is the reason we use Chrome driver. As I said, right, many drivers are there. When you install that package, you'll see in config element Chrome, Firefox, HTML, Internet, these many drivers are there. Why Chrome driver? Because for now they have given a option to run in headless mode. That option is only available in Chrome driver. In those, it's not there. Now, yeah, so that is the thing, right? So what are the settings that needs to be done in headless mode? So I have made another here, you can see. So just put 2 check marks over here in Chrome tab, click on use headless mode, and here allow insecure certificates. Right, in experimental tab, here you can put a check mark on create a new browser on a start of each iteration. Okay, this you can do. By default they will not be there. If you see here, check mark will not be there, and here also check mark will not be there. But when you you are going in load testing, put a check mark on these 2 option, and in experimental tab over here 1 option, 1 check mark. Okay, and if you verify the response time, so see there is no that much drastic change. Okay, like if you think that if you are running in head mode and if you are not running in head mode, response time will change. Not that much change here. In milliseconds, some changes are there. Okay, millisecond. Now, yeah, that is the thing. And this concept of running this via XPath is very similar to the true client protocol in our load runner. Okay, true client protocol. There also it works on the basis of XPath only. There also when you record here, what is the problem is here you have to write the XPath. In true client protocol you can record, and true client protocol will write the XPath for you. Okay, but many times that XPath are not correct, so sometimes you have to fix the XPath also. So there also knowledge of XPath is needed, correct? But overall working feature or working behavior is same: Selenium WebDriver and true client protocol, right? And then true client script also, when we run in load runner, that also they also run in headless mode only. Okay, so this is done. Now only last thing left to discuss is whenever you are generating, let us say you are running from non-GUI mode or GUI also, and you got the JTL file, and from that JTL you are going to generate the HTML report. So whenever you are going to generate the HTML report, disable any properties line related to transaction in user.properties. Correct. So what this means is here properties file is there. So I've told that in HTTP HTML protocol, we have seen that if you want to show the transaction, then what we have to do? We have to import the transaction from the script, right, in the user.properties file, or this line you have to make true. So controllers only. This line you have to make true, correct? Because then only you can show that controllers in a report. But here, since controller are not used, if you see these are samplers. This is what WebDriver sampler. Right? It's not controller. There is no use of transaction controller in this whole approach. So at that case, what you have to do is this line should be made disable. Otherwise, the report will come blank. So any line, let us say if you are using this controller only line, so you have to disable this. Right? Disable this. Or this enter restore. If you are importing the transaction, then do not do that. Okay. Disable, and then from JTL file you generate your HTML report. Then report will come correct. Correct. So this you have to remember. This will go same. This concept will be same in next section also. Which are next section in DB test plan also, that this part you have to remember, right? I'm just telling, so remember that time I'll not be again telling that. In FTP also you have to remember this, right? This concept of not disabling any line related to controllers. In REST API or SOAP API also you have to do this, because there only samplers will be used. Okay, only samplers will be. There is no concept of transaction controller to use in the script. So that's why in any line, if you are generating a report from JTL, this line should be disabled. So otherwise report will come blank, right? Okay, so that is for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow.
Vallabh, I have one question. Is there any way by which we can segregate the response time for the client and server separately?
No. Here it will just give you end-to-end load time, final load time.
So we cannot say like from the server and this time from the client.
No. One more thing I told, sorry, I forgot, is generally this client-side script, okay, client-side script and server-side scripts, they run in conjunction. Conjunction means, like in real performance testing, let us say 1,000 user, if you are running and doing the server-side load testing, right? You are using your HTTP protocol, the HTTP script. At the same time, people do what means as a best practice, what is followed. Let us say for 10 users or 20 users, the client-side script will be running on a system. Okay, so they will be running parallelly. Generally, client side we do not run for 1,000 users or more users. People do, yeah. If a requirement is there, we can do. It's not like that we cannot do, but generally it's not done. So when already load testing is going on server side, when server side script is running, let us say for product booking scenario only, both the script we have, right? You can also learn execute at your end, just run for 50 users for HTTP protocol and run for 2 users for this client side script, right? You will see the difference, you'll see the response time. So same thing is done in company, like in real project also. So 1,000 users or 10,000 users running on server side script, same script with client side script, right? Same product booking scenario, right? Will be running for 10 or 2 users. And why we run? We check that if server is on load, what is on the behavior on the user side. If the pages are getting loaded fine, it's slowness in the page, okay, how the things are rendering. So they runs in parallel, they run in conjunction. Actually, these two scripts should run in conjunction in real performance testing, but many people do this, many people do not do this, this client side scripting. And one more thing, uh, when we do this, when we run this client side script, right? So at that time we take a average of system. It means that suppose you have a very poor laptop. In your laptop only 2 GB RAM is there, correct? So do you think if you browse a page, your response time will be fast? No, right? So this client side activity is dependent on user machine. Slow machine, slow response time. Page will not open fast, browser will not open. So does it mean that server is poor? No, right? Server is not poor. It's fast only. So that's why this client side script is not considered as a script, uh, uh, as a benchmark for the server matrices. Means if on client machine, if his network is poor, his system is poor, so he will not get the correct response time, right? Means fast response time. So we cannot blame our server, right? So that's why server side performance testing much like bothers. We do generally server side performance testing. If required, we do client side performance testing, because on client side performance testing, machine is the culprit. Okay, his machine is the culprit. Server can respond fast also, but if slow RAM, slow CPU, old RAM, obviously you will get slow response time, right? So whenever you are running, you should take a average of laptop. Like let us say nowadays everyone is having 8 GB RAM, right, and i7 or i5 processor. Using that, we should be running. Okay.